I'm Jennifer Lowe. I'm the Executive Director of Shout. The acronym SHOUT stands for Sharing Helps Others Use Technology. I'm communicating by a sophisticated communication device that's called a Delta Talker. How it's operated is by the light sensor that is attached onto my glasses. The light sensor has a cord which connects it to the device. Infrared lights are on the face of my Delta Talker. When I hesitate on a light for a split second, it activates that particular key.
One of the things that the MinSpeak system can do for a person who is unable to use oral speech or hand signs, traditional hand signs, is to facilitate the rapid communication of natural language in real time. It gives about a 65% break over spelling in terms of the number of keystrokes.
Before augmentative communication with the voice, it was rather frustrating because I couldn't get someone's attention, and I couldn't say really what I wanted and how I wanted. I earned a bachelor's degree from Edinburgh University in specialized studies. I do a lot of public speaking promoting Shout. I have been at Sweden, England, and Singapore, and Düsseldorf, Germany. I have spoken to little children, which was absolutely great. I love to teach children about my disability and encourage them to ask questions. Does it hurt? And I'm real with them and answer yes sometimes. I give the example of people staring. That hurts. I am not a thing. I'm a person.
Augmented communicators want to work. They feel that the productivity that they provide to society, just like any one of us. At the Pittsburgh Employment Conference, they know they're the most important people at the conference, and the microphone is always given to the augmented communicator first. I think one of the main reasons why the people are so happy, the people who use augmented communication, and they feel like they can say whatever they want and they'll be heard.
The goal of the Pittsburgh Employment Conference for Augmented Communicators is to allow augmented communicators from all over the world to gather together to discuss their issues. It's a wonderful coming together, all on the level.
Earl does a variety of research, but the main focus of our research is on technology to improve the mobility and function of in individuals with severe disabilities. We have a large emphasis on wheelchair research. One of the remarkable things about Earl, I think, is that we actually can go from conceptualizing design to doing prototypes, to focus groups, making actually multiple units, all the way to clinical demonstrations locally and even multi-site clinical trials here across the country. One of the goals in our virtual reality lab is to help individuals with complex disability, help them fulfill their full potential. We believe that a lot of improvements in clinical practice and in also the design and fitting of new technologies will occur in a virtual environment. And in here, we're looking at interface devices for individuals with complex disabilities such as multiple sclerosis, ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, and traumatic brain injuries, as well as cerebral palsy and where devices don't necessarily exist to meet many people's needs or to help people fulfill their full potential. So to give you an idea of what life was like in 1980 when I was first injured was that I had an 80-pound wheelchair and I was a 125-pound person. You know, now wheelchairs weigh 18, 19 pounds. Some of the issues that Hurl later tackled, like repetitive strain injuries and carpal tunnel syndrome and rotator cuff injuries and also shock and vibration exposure, low back pain, those things people experienced at that time, and many people actually had very limited mobility and actually became homebound because of those. But the connection had not been made that the wheelchair might be part of the problem. A lot of people probably overlook the impact that wheelchair sports, especially wheelchair red racing, had on people with disabilities, changing perceptions. I like to say that when I first did my first 10K in a wheelchair, it took me over 50 minutes to do the 10K. When I retired from racing, I could do a 10K in under 25 minutes. It's pretty hard to feel sorry for somebody who basically beats your butt in a 10K. So I think one of the things I think is very important, as the person with a disability, you need to be leading the process, you need to be driving the process. Professionals can help you achieve your goals and your family can help support you in achieving your goals, but what's really important is that you are the leader, you are the one setting the goals, and you are the one staying on focus to achieve them.
My doctoral work is in wheelchair propulsion biomechanics, more specifically training individuals to push wheelchairs in a safe, biomechanically correct way. And I'm using biofeedback to help encourage people to propel better. And it's the hope of the study that it'll help improve people's independence and reduce the likelihood of individuals developing upper extremity pain and injury along the way. I was a gymnast at the University of Illinois, and I was injured in '93, and it was obviously a huge adjustment. What's interesting though is my path didn't change that significantly. I saw lots of other athletes who were real athletes who I respected who also used wheelchairs. So as a newly injured person, you're confronted with the idea of using a wheelchair, and there's obviously stigma associated with that, and you have kind of misconceptions of disability. And so I was in an atmosphere that was a very positive atmosphere, and one that was really conducive to my sort of evolution as a person with a disability. There's always going to be some slight limitations, but I think as a person with a disability, one of the important sort of characteristics of someone who succeeds and does well is that they learn to adapt.